When I look at this gospel passage, I think that Jesus must have had a sense of humor. Because he says, "Come to me, all who are burdened and all who labor, and I will give you rest." Now that sounds good. But the following sentence goes like that, "And take my yoke upon you." So I am tired, exhausted, and I am supposed to take your yoke upon me? That's how will I rest? That doesn't make sense, does it? When you want to rest, you go to an all-inclusive hotel, stretch out your tan body on a beach, and do nothing. And yet Jesus says, "Come to me and rest, and, by the way, take my yoke upon you." Makes no sense whatsoever. Last Wednesday, we were looking at this text of the Gospel today in our Bible study, and I opened the Bible dictionary to find exact English explanation what the heck yoke is. And it's not egg yolk, by the way. I found a picture of a yoke with two oxen attached to that yoke, and a definition that said it's a wooden crosspiece fastened over the necks of two animals and attached to a plow. Two animals. They don't make yokes for one animal. A yoke attaches one animal to another one to carry the plow together. And then I got it. Maybe this is what Jesus is saying. I will carry this yoke with you. You will not be going through your life alone. You will not have to do it all by yourself. I will walk beside you. I will carry your burdens. I will carry your cross. I'm sure you all are very familiar with the famous story of footprints in the sand, right? That's exactly this point. We are not walking alone. Jesus is the one who carries the yoke of our crosses, of our lives, of our burdens with us. And that is the good message. This is the message of the gospel at the heart of what it means to believe in Jesus. We are never alone. We never carry our crosses alone. Even when you find yourself on the most difficult day of your life, even when you go through your Good Friday experience, you are not hanging on that cross by yourself. You are not carrying that burden alone. For that yoke attaches you to Jesus. He is right there next with you. And then, if you think you are a Christian, and okay, let's check. How many of you think you are Christians? Okay, no abstains, very good. If you didn't raise your hand, I will assume that you are Catholic, not Christian. But by the way, Catholics are Christians as well. But do you know what Christian means? To be Christ-like. That's the best definition of what Christian is. A person who calls herself or himself a Christian is called to be like Christ. And so we are called to carry the yokes of others as well. We are called to help our sisters and brothers and carry that heavy plow through difficult days of their lives. In the book of Genesis, the story of two brothers, Cain and Abel, God asks one of them, "Where is your brother?" And the answer is, "Why do you ask me? Am I my brother's watcher?" Yes, you are. Yes, you are supposed to carry the yoke along with your brother. In our lives, this yoke that we are attached to is best lived in a relationship with your spouse. With the husband or the wife that you have, you are attached to the same yoke. In that loving relationship that you have in your life, you are supposed to carry each other. You are supposed to be connected for good and for bad, in health and in sickness, until death does your part. That's what being married means. To be connected by one yoke, to go through life together. When one is stronger, the other one can depend on her or him. When one is weak, one will know that I will not be by myself. But those of you who are not married, like myself, we have the church. In the church, in the community of faith, we are also connected to each other by our yokes. We need to know that our sisters and brothers from the pews can count on me, and vice versa. I can count on them. And what we do in this parish is wonderful. How many times do I see you getting signatures on get well cards when someone gets sick? If someone misses Sunday Mass for a week or two, people ask me, "Where is she? What happened to her?" Because we care for each other, because we love each other, we carry each other's burdens. That's what it means to be a Christian, to be Christ-like. We are not independent individuals living our lives in separate ways. True, 2 days ago we celebrated Independence Day. As Americans, we treasure our independence very much. But as Christians, we realize that we are truly interdependent. That there is no way you can be independent of anyone in your life. That you need someone you can depend on. As a human being, there is no day in your life when you don't depend on someone. As a child, your life, your well-being depends on your parents. There is no other way but to hope and count that your parents will put something on the table for you, that they will give you clothes, they will provide you with a safe home. Once you get to be elderly, you hope that your children will help you along, and you can depend on them, because God knows what will happen with Social Security when you are old. And so we hope to depend on our children and grandchildren one day. We depend on our spouses. We depend on our neighbors. We depend on each other because we are connected. And that connection can be described as a yoke of faith, a yoke that makes life easier, a yoke that makes your burden light. Today, as we celebrate Independence Day weekend, I want to remind myself and all of you that we are not traveling alone. As spouses, as parishioners, as members of the same church, we are in this together. We are carrying each other's sorrows, each other's burdens, and each other's joys. We are traveling together, for we are connected and we are interdependent.